morning. I'm going to show you how to make a little slim card today using the animation stamps. I'm going to make a different one this time. This is the one we did in our card class this week as our little extra thing, and people kind of had a good time playing with it. I've learned quite a bit of tips after making a couple of these, and I just think they're a wicked fun little card to do. There are several stamp sets you can use. I'm going to try and use this one today with the little bugs, and you want to get this little piece here that shows you how to put the little pull tab business on the end. And then this is one with greetings. This is the set we used to make the other card that I just showed you. But today I'm going to try to make something a little different. So first of all, what I did was I cut a piece of a rectangle to fit on my long card or slim card or whatever you want to call them. They're those cards you can cut from an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and just so that they fit in a regular business size envelope. Anyway, so this is the card base, but we don't really use the card base till the end because I assemble everything without the card base. It's a lot simpler. So what I did was I cut a piece of paper. Let's see here, what size is this? Now this is our mix-in paper. I guess it's about 8 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then what I did was I brought it over to my trimmer and I pushed it. This is already cut, so but your piece would be 8 3/4 by 3 3/4. Then you bring it over, and I just put it over here to the 1/4 inch mark, and then I used my trimmer blade and just went up like that, choop, and then I turned it, did the same thing here, put it on the 1/4 inch mark, started at the 1/4 inch up here and came down to my other one. I actually left the piece inside because I prepped a bunch of cards for people to do, so that you could just snip it with a scissor in the corner, so it stayed together when I was packaging them up. So that works really pretty slick to make any kind of a frame. You could do it for a layout also if you wanted to, or another kind of card, but it's a really simple way to make your 1/4 inch frame, just like that. And so you have a 1/4 inch frame, that's all. So what I used next was, where's my adhesive? Right here. I used 1/8 inch tear-off tape to put on my acetate. So I already have done 2 sides, and I'm going to do my short ends. It's very simple because you can tear it right with your fingernail. It works really easy, and it's a good aggressive tape. It's similar to the red line tape, which is good, except that darn cellophane you take off, the red line tape sticks to everything and you can hardly get it off your fingers. So next I'm going to just peel up these pieces. So I have my sticky showing. It is a little aggressive, so it's going to stick to your fingers if you get your fingers on there, but there's a little bit of an edge on the frame since I'm using 1/8 inch instead of 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch, you probably could use 3/8 if you wanted to, but you'd have to be real careful not to get it off the edges of your frame. Next, how I did it, now see, I've cut my magic acetate that has the lines with the lines going up and down because that's how I want my card to show. Now if I wanted to do it the other way, I would have to have my opening on this side to pull it out this way. But this way I'm going to pull it this way, so the long way. So how I do this, I find that it's easiest to do this is to lay your frame on your mat like that, and then just bring your acetate down to the one edge. Now it's very important to keep your lines straight on this card. If you don't, it won't work as well as far as the animation is concerned. So, you know, being straight and even on this is very important. So now I've got it in my, I got it in place, but I got to get it on there and push it down. So I got to get it on the edge. Oh-de-doo. It's a little tricky to get this part started, but once you do, it's easy. There we go. I got it, I think. Yep, my line's matched up. And now I'm just going to drop it down like that. Now I say like that, it's a little crooked, but not too bad. There we go. You can always trim off your edge with your scissors if you have a little extra on the edge. And that's what I'll do right here. Trim it off. Because no one's perfect and we all make mistakes all the time. Always have to have a way to fix them. And this is the way you fix this one, just like that. Trim it right off with your scissor. No big deal. So now I have my frame with my acetate. Next step is, I used this tape. Now, Close to My Heart also makes a thinner tape, which I just ordered. Thick foam tape will not work. Well, it will work. It's just that your inside piece will come out easier. And you don't really want it. You want it to be kind of so that it stays inside while you are not using the card. You want it to kind of stay in. So what I did with this was, I just cut a piece like this and I cut it into 3 strips. Just with my scissors, no big deal. It goes quick. You just cut it right up. I thought the scissors were the easiest way. Now, you have to pay attention to which side is your straight edge, because you have 2 straight edges on this, and you want to keep the straight edge towards the inside of your card frame. And I'll show you what I mean. So here's one of those cut. Now here's my straight edge, because that's the edge that came off the roll. Now I'm going to lay it so that it's straight against the edge of that. The straight edge is on the straight edge, is what I'm saying to you. You want to get it right on there, just like so. And then I'm going to do the other side, which this side is my other side of straight edge. You can see because this side's kind of crooked. And you're just going to go like this. Take some of this off. You don't need a whole lot off, but you do need some of it off. Because you want to have it less than 1/4 inch. Because your frame is 1/4 inch and you don't want your tape to show. So we'll just continue cutting this right down. And then we'll put it on the other side. A little tricky because I like these non-stick scissors of ours. They're really, really good to do this kind of work because it comes right off of them. So now that's my crooked side. Here's my straight side, and I'm going to put it right onto this side on the other side here. And you can put it back just a hair so that you have your card inside there. There you go. And then you're only going to put some stuff on one end. You don't want to put it on both ends because you have to be able to pull it out. It doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. There you go, just like so. I gotta trim this edge off because I kind of, whatever, got it on there. Okay, that can go in my garbage. This is extra. There, so now you're all set. That's ready to go on to your backing. So I cut mine so that I would have just a little bit showing here, like that. But first of all, since you have your inside piece, you can choose to use, since it's 2-sided, use this side, or you can use this side. So what I like to do is I like to flip it over. So you kind of have to just get this one, you're going to center it on your card. Glue gun here. And I'm going to put adhesive around the sides like you do. Maybe a little in the center to hold it down on the back. It's not going to go anywhere when it's in there because it's going to be on the back. But now you're going, it's important again to get this kind of in the center. So you want to look and just like lay it out. And I don't measure. You could, I suppose, and put little tick marks in there, but I don't do that. You aren't going to see it that much anyways if you're a little bit off. There, just like so. And then you can take your pieces off of here, your backings. Just like so. And like so. And you want your opening on this side, on your right side, at least I do. You can do it on either side, but this, and another way you can do it is leave it open on both ends. And then see, it's easier to line this up because you've got that other piece in there. And you just lay it down like so. And there's your top. Next, we're going to stamp our little piece, which I've already pre-cut. And This one actually worked out perfect on this end, but what I do is when I cut these, because you never know where you're going to exactly get this little piece on the end when you cut it, there's little straight dies that you can cut this with in that kit also if you buy the whole kit. And so it slides out like that. This one will, see, that's what I meant by the thickness of your tape. See, it doesn't, well, it will come out, but it doesn't come out as easily. But you want to be able to have it glide nicely, but you don't want it to be stuck in there. So you have to use your foam tape, but you want to use a thinner foam tape rather than a thicker foam tape for this card. So next we're going to do our stamping. That's where the magic happens. So I'm going to line it up on my grid mat like so, and I'm going to use some of my already used Post-it note tape. I like this Post-it note tape because it's aggressive enough to hold your paper down, but it's easy enough to take off, whereas the blue tape sometimes takes the top of the paper off. This does not do that at all. It's perfect for masking and it's perfect for holding things down. So next, I always start with my greeting in the center. So I think I want to use Happy Birthday this time. I have not used that one yet, so we'll try that. Let's just see here if I've got a block big enough for it though. Might have to go get a bigger block. Let's just see if I do. Have to get a bigger block, sorry. Must get a bigger block. Here's my bigger block. Here's a bigger block right here. Alright, there we go. You could do this in your MISTI, except you'd have to hang out part of this because it's long. See now, the key to this is inking it up and getting those lines that are in the stamp even with the lines on your mat, because you want them straight to make it work properly. So now I'm going to go get my black ink. I'm really going to ink. I gotta give this, it's a new stamp. I gotta give it a little love. There we go. And I gotta ink it really well. It's important to ink it really well when you do this. And check it to see if it's got good ink on it. It's a little tricky to see because those lines are, we could re-ink this little ink pad, but it's okay. All right. So now we're going to go right in the center on those lines and come down and stay straight. That's all I can tell you. Stay straight, as straight as you can. And then 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. So it gets the ink transfers to your paper really well if you count for a little bit. You don't need to push it as much as you need to apply pressure, and see, you get a pretty good image. All right, so that's that one. Now, I want to try to use these little guys. I think I'm going to use the dragonfly if it fits on there. I'm going to try it and see. Let's just see if it fits. Oh yeah, perfect. Yep. And then over here, I might have to take that tape off when I do this side. It's going to go into the tape. Yep, that'll work good. So we'll use the same block again. Stick my little stamp up there and use this big block because it's a good size to do it with. Alrighty, now this one, how you have to be careful of, because it's the lines are sideways. So again, you have to line those lines up with the way that the lines go here. So it's going to have to go something like this on this side, and then the same way on this side. See, now I had it going this way. You can't. You have to have it going this way because the lines go like this. So that's a little different. So now let me see. It's a green card. So maybe I will use Peacock. We'll try Peacock. It's a good dark. You want to use a dark color of ink for this part. Most people use black, but I found by using color that was fun too. We actually used raspberry and peacock on the cards on the hearts that we did. Hearts are a little more forgiving, that way you could use them in different colors. But see, now I've got my lines, and I need my lines on those wings lined up straight. And I've got to take this little piece off because it's going to go into that. So if I get my lines pretty straight, and I can go in just like so. Just like that. Even pressure, about 5 seconds, and lift straight up. Oh, see, I missed some. That's not going to work so good. And I don't know if I can go back in. Maybe. Should have put a foam underneath that. But I need the grid on my mat to do this, so I have to work pretty good. We'll see. Maybe I should put the foam underneath the other side. It might work better. Because it's fairly solid, and with solid parts of stamps, you really do need your foam underneath. Because I need the grid on this one too, I couldn't use the other side of my mat. So, oops, see, now that didn't ink up very good right there either. There we go, that's better. Always check to make sure you're well inked. And now, so you have to go this way because those lines are that way. And we can go just like so. This will come out better because it's on the foam. It'll make it more even. See, that one came out perfect. So do use your foam underneath if you can, because it will make it come out better. Now we're going to try the magic. Where's my card here? Since I make a gigantuous mess when I do these things. And then you're done if you want to be done, or you can add something. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fun, fun, fun. Look how that moves. Isn't that awesome? I just loved playing with this. It took a while for me to figure out how to get it so it would work properly. But once you get it and it works awesome. And it's fun. So, animation cards. Lots of fun to do. Give it a try. They're in the small book on page, towards the end. Here's the whole suite of animation card stuff. Right here on page 38, 39, and 40 and 41. Now, another thing I want to tell you about is this paper here. This paper here is kind of fun. It's paper patterns from our older cardstock packs, but they're scaled down so that the prints are smaller for cards. What I mean by that is they're the same patterns, only they're scaled down sizes. So they work perfectly for our A2 cards. It wouldn't have worked for my long card because they're not long enough. They're 6 by 6. But see, the prints are really tiny, which is fun. Like some of these would be great for like a Valentine card or a birthday card or whatever. I've used some of them. As you can see, I've cut up some of the papers already. So that's this paper pack here. And I think there's going to be more. We'll see more of them as time goes on. They're kind of fun for if you're a card maker. Here's your animation sheets that you have to make the magic happen. If you happen to have these, you can do it, but you don't need these. I used the, I just cut mine on my trimmer to make the long card. And here, they tell you to use the 2mm, which is actually thicker. I would go with the thinner. I tried it with the thicker, and I found that there's too much play in this part of the card. You really want this to be fairly tight to make it slide nice. And you can't go too fast because you won't get the I mean, you will, but you won't see it because you're going too fast. But if you go slower, you'll see how they move. And I love it. Have fun making cards because they certainly are fun. Take care.